everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn and today I'm going to be making a skirt. So I actually made a pattern for this skirt months ago, but I never actually got around to making it. It was meant to be a simple project to use up some fabric that I have, but like with most things, I kind of did half the work and then gave up. I've never made anything like this before, so this is not a tutorial either. This is kind of just me taking you on the journey of figuring out how to make clothing. So, I made this pattern basically by tracing a skirt that I already own. And that skirt, in fact, is a little bit large on me. So I was hoping that by using that as part of the template making process, I would have extra room in the fabric to hopefully tailor it more to my body. I have 4 pattern pieces. I have a front of the skirt panel, which I would like 2 of because I want to make a button closure down the middle. I have a back of skirt piece, which I did trace the entire skirt, and this is a little excessive, so I think I'm going to cut this in half, and this is just going to be a piece that I need to cut on the fold of the fabric. And then I have 2 pocket pieces. I have my lining piece and my back piece. Now, I don't have specific lining fabric, but I feel like I can find enough scrap fabric. I'm going to be trying to make the skirt out of corduroy. I have brown corduroy. I'm scared like I am every time I try to do anything, so I think what I've learned when it comes to sewing projects is the best thing I can do is literally just do it. And I'm probably gonna mess things up, but I just have to believe it's gonna be okay. So my progress so far is that I have basically all of the pattern pieces I had cut out, and I kind of just laid them out on the floor here. So I have my back piece, which is just one big piece. Then I've got my back pocket piece, my pocket lining piece, which I made out of this scrap of green fabric from my Renaissance fair costume. And then I have 2 of these front panels, and there's a pocket on both sides. I made them both rather large because girls don't get pockets, but if I'm gonna make my own clothing, I'm going to give myself a pocket. I will need a waistband of some sort at some point, and I may need a piece in the middle to kind of like extend the center in order to put like buttons or snaps down it. But for what I have right now, I think my pattern worked out fairly well in terms of just like basic construction. So we'll see how it starts to come together and how things start to fit.
We don't know.
a little bit wonky because of this top piece, so I think I'm just going to trim straight. But look, I have a pocket. Hello. I don't know what you can see here, so I apologize if this is like a weird angle or anything, but I wanted to show you the progress I've made. So it does fit. So I added these strips of green corduroy on the front of each of these front panels. I just did that by like folding a piece in half and stitching it on the inside. And that way I have some like thicker pieces of fabric to put the buttons and the buttonholes on, and also it gave this a little bit extra length so that it could actually overlap for the buttons, because it did not overlap before. But like, it's not like exorbitantly large, it's just like maybe like an inch or two. So I'm kind of thinking if I just measure where I want the waistband to be and then just cut a waistband to that exact length, then I can just fit the skirt into the waistband, which will be slightly smaller, and I can choose places to sort of fold it. I'm just not sure if that's the best idea in terms of like fit. I've never had to do something like this before. So I'm going to make my decision about that and then I'm going to add the waistband. All I have to do yet is add the waistband, hem the bottom edge, and then add my buttons and buttonholes down the middle, which I do not know how to do yet, so this will be something I need to learn. And I also don't know if I have buttons to use. I may need to go to the store and get some buttons, but that would be my last step then, and then I would have a skirt to wear. I'm really happy with it so far. I'm also going to do the waistband in this green corduroy, I think, because I like having the different colors on there. But this is my plan, and I'm hoping I can pretty much finish it tonight, maybe minus the buttons. I'm back with my mystery angle again. Hopefully my head isn't cut off. But it has a waistband. I'm super happy with this. I think this is so cute, and I know my stitches aren't perfect and like some things are a little wonky inside, but it feels like something I can actually wear. It's like a functional piece of clothing, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to hem the bottom now. I'm not entirely sure how short I'm going to make it, but I'm going to do that next, and then all I literally need to do is add buttons and make any final adjustments. I can tell that maybe it might be a little loose, but it's really hard to tell unless there are like buttons, like the actual closures on here, because I don't know how it's going to fit when it's like closed up like I would just be wearing it. So I think I'm going to make final adjustments once I can do that, and if anything I'll just be taking in the waistband a little bit. But I don't think that'll be super difficult. So yeah, I'm almost done. That's bright. So the skirt is pretty much done. All I need to do is add buttons and then do a final like fit and sort of make any adjustments I need to. The thing that took me so long, it's been a couple days now, is that I need buttons, and I went to the craft store with Joey over the weekend and they had no buttons, so that was very upsetting to me. But I stopped at the craft store on Monday and I picked these out. I didn't have my skirt with me, I was just going for a larger button, and I'm hoping that these are big enough. I think I could have gone bigger if they had an option that I liked, but honestly the other problem is that they had a lot of styles there, that I liked, but they didn't have enough because my thought was that I need probably at least 8 buttons, and honestly I'm worried this won't be enough buttons. But my goal today is to map out where I'm going to put the buttons, sew the buttons on, and then I will need to do the buttonholes. I'm not sure that I'm going to do the buttonholes today. That might be a tomorrow project. But I think I want to sew the buttons on first so that I know exactly where I need the buttonholes to be. And also to see if I need more buttons, because if I do, I'm going to have to go back to the store. But I bought out all of what they had in this particular style, which means that I'm either going to have to keep going back and hoping that they're going to have the buttons I need until they do, or I'm going to have to just order more online, which I would really rather not do for buttons. I mean, this was a $4 purchase, and I can't imagine how little it would be to purchase buttons online, but then with shipping, I don't know. So we're just going to hope the 8 buttons is enough, and we're going to get the hair out of my mouth. And I'm going to sew buttons tonight, which sounds incredibly boring, but I really want to finish the skirt. So, my skirt is complete. This is sort of my first wearing of the skirt. I have worn this all day at work for the first time, and I will admit it is a bit flawed. There are some things that I will probably be adjusting and or adding, fixing, whatever. Main thing being the buttonholes are perhaps a little large. I made them how I thought I was supposed to based off of the tutorial, but I think maybe my measurements were just a little bit off and therefore they are very loose. So I might just like tighten them up with a few stitches. We'll see. The main thing that I noticed, because it's one thing standing here wearing it, but I sit down all day for work. And sitting down in the skirt for 8 hours has shown me a lot of things about this skirt. Namely these top 2 buttons. Because, you know, your body is in a different position standing than it is sitting down. And so even though this seems to fit kind of perfectly standing up, I never really did a sit test. And so even though I can absolutely sit in this, that is not the problem. It's simply that it stretches the fabric in weird ways. Like this button is so wonky compared to the buttonhole. The pockets are functional, and I do think it's cute. It might be a little bit bulky, and I didn't fully know how to style it. I wore this t-shirt, and then I had white sneakers on today, which are now being replaced by white socks. That is kind of a bummer because I was super excited to have this done, super excited to wear it. And it just wasn't quite as comfortable to work in all day, but I think it can be fixed. And also this is like the first piece of clothing I've made that is not a costume piece, that is just for me to wear in everyday life. And I made a pattern myself and kind of taught myself how to do these things based off of YouTube tutorials. So all of that being considered, I am very proud of myself, and I think that it turned out really well. And this, although it is an issue for wearing, it is not unfixable. And I feel pretty confident that I can make this a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more secure so that I can wear this in the future. But yeah, that's my skirt review. Should I do a little, I don't know, a little twirl? So with that, I would like to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. You can also leave me a comment down below and let me know how you think I did. you have any suggestions based off your own sewing knowledge or experience, I'd love to hear it. And if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe as well to see more videos like this from me in the future. This is my first sewing project that is not a pillow, but I do plan on having many more sewing projects in the future, so if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. I also do all sorts of other content as well. I vlog occasionally, I paint, I do random art projects, I cook, I bake. Anything I'm feeling like doing that week, you'll see on this channel. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop for anything that I post in the future. And with that, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!